NASA, NASA, NASA. Why is it always NASA?
Damn superheroes, your superpowers, get off my lawn, says David Cronenberg.
Plus, we'll check out the multiverse this week. Sean checks in from Flight Test Land in a video piece.
New way.
We also got an interview with Rubidium Wu you do not want to miss. That is coming up on all of this today on Slice.
Covering all the news from every dark corner of the universe.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Hola y saludos a todos. धरती के वासियों की ओर से
Sliceofsci-fi.com.
I am Michael Grouthays Menenge.
I am Brian Brown, who's a proud owner of Piranha 3 Double D.
You are such a lucky guy.
Shoot me.
And I'm dead a little inside just from seeing that, so
I
I'm
know.
sorry you have to see that.
All
I'm
right.
Megan Zier.
Let's get to some news and blot this out of our memory.
Here's what's happening.
Oh, yes. NASA. So now that the Curiosity rover has completed its software upgrade,
Yes.
it's ready to start tooling around the surface of Mars.
And it's doing it. It's going all out. All kinds. I can tell you all what's in that story because I've been following it religiously. But go ahead.
No, really, Mike.
No. Go ahead.
So what's up for the next bits of missions for Curiosity? Well, let me tell you, it's going to be going. First location is in Curiosity sites is an area referred to as the Glenelg, which is based on initial pictures, offers 3 different geological characteristics, as well as potentially being an area where water used to be present. Now, the site is only, dig this, 1,300 feet away, folks. That's 400 meters from where the rover landed.
It's like, they got so close to the target when they hit people. Yeah, if you're not following it, folks,
it's pretty
talk
amazing.
about dead on.
Yeah. So, but they're still saying it'll take several weeks to get there anyways. This is merely a quick dash compared to the next leg of its journey, which Curiosity is heading out to an area called Mount Sharp, which is a large mound of layered rock, which is hoped to contain viable geological, potentially dating back to millions of years. That's what they're hoping that they're digging down and they'll get through the different layers in that. So with that's within 7 kilometers, 4.4 miles, lying between the rover and the mountain foothills. That'll be a much longer journey, and that one could hopefully provide first real evidence of the planet's ability to host or have hosted life.
There's all kinds of speculation out there.
Did you guys see the thing about the rock that was tweeted when it got shot with the laser?
Yeah, it was pew pew.
Brilliant.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a really clever little thing. So now
there's so much cool news going on up there. It's crazy.
So while Curiosity is exploring the exterior of the red planet, NASA has decided the next mission to Mars will explore the interior. The new mission, named InSight, will launch in 2016 for a 2-year mission to investigate whether the planet's core is solid or liquid, and why its crust isn't divided into drifting tectonic plates like the Earth. Now, the InSight will build upon spacecraft technology used in NASA's 2007 Phoenix Lander mission, which established that water existed near the surface of Mars polar region, basically. So it's a low-risk, low-cost mission. The cost, excluding the launch vehicle and related services, has been capped at $425 million.
Wow, that's
and that's in 2010 dollars, nonetheless.
Holy cow!
Right, that is cheap.
So, InSight will carry 4 instruments. NASA's carry 4 instruments. This is the JPL. Basically, will provide an onboard geodesic instruments to determine Mars's rotational axis, as well as a robotic arm and 2 cameras used to deploy and monitor instruments on the Martian surface.
Interesting. I have not
Pretty
heard about
cool. Yeah, it's kind of neat.
I learned something today. I have been so focused on rover, I have not looked at
InSight. So there you guys go. Something really cool. Then there's David Cronenberg shaking his cane at those damn superheroes on his lawn. So when asked if he considered directing one, a superhero movie that is, Cronenberg replied, "I don't think they're making them an elevated art form."
Ooh.
He said this of top shelf filmmakers and their tentpole pictures. I think it's still Batman running around in a stupid cape. I just don't think it's elevated. Christopher Nolan's best movie is Memento, and that is an interesting movie. I don't think his Batman movies are half as interesting, though they're 20 million times the expense. Now, Cronenberg did admit that he appreciated Nolan's technical effort, with the IMAX camera and the like, but was still unimpressed with the actual movie.
Wow.
Oh,
I say good day to you, sir.
Just wait. Unlike horror films, which he says have a potential of being art. Wow. Piranha,
Wow.
3 double D, David.
He was a co-producer on that film.
And he says comic book films don't have a chance. And this is what he said. A superhero movie, by definition, it's a comic book. It's for kids. Oh, but wait, it gets better, folks. It's adolescent at its core. That has always been its appeal. And I think people who are saying, Dark Knight Rises is supreme cinematic art, I don't think they know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, wow.
David Cronenberg, folks. Yeah. This is the guy who made the highbrow horror film, Videodrome.
All right, I'm out.
Oh, my.
I'm out. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. Anyways, send your hate mail to David Cronenberg. Let's go to maybe the multiverse.
Please.
Good evening. I'm Lance Neutron, and the Apocalypse Tour is well underway. I'm aboard my new cruise ship, the SS Fantastic. It's a cruise ship in space. And on our way to the different tour stops, we're taking subspace satellites and dropping them like they're hot to expand the Neutron Media Network across the galaxy. And now we're going to play a highlight from our first stop on the tour back on Earth. Our android reporter Skizbot has been recording highlights as we go.
I'm here at Hogwarts School for Young Wizards, the first stop on the Apocalypse Tour. Lance Neutron has just given an ostentatious speech, and he is now doing a question and answer session with the students.
Who's got a question for me? Yeah, you there from Huff and Puff.
Yes, Mr. Neutron. I study very hard in all of my classes, and my magic spells, never turn out the way they're supposed to. The teachers are very upset with me, and I'm trying very hard. Do you have any advice on what I should do?
That is a very good question. I didn't get where I am today by reading and studying. I got where I am because of action. So if you want to know how your wand works, I suggest you whip it out and just say the first thing that comes to your mind. No, try it right now. Try it.
Banana precipita.
Fantastic. I bet you didn't know you could make it rain bananas. Try another one. First thing that comes to your mind.
Portal disreparis.
Whoa, okay. Well, breaking windows isn't what I had in mind. Let's try something a little tamer.
Professora regurgitus.
Ew. See, you can make your teachers vomit. I used to do that without a wand. Well, it looks like you guys have everything under control here. I'm off to my next tour stop. Until then, you guys stay fantastic.
Lance has now left the stage, and I am trying to find a safe way out of here amidst this chaos.
Roboto Libertatum.
Brilliant. Now I'm levitating. I hope nothing else dangerous happens now.
Bovinum catapulto.
Don't worry, he's fine. We have somebody that can fix him. Now we can take you back to Earth for some public service announcement by some cartoon or puppet or other weird creature.
This is the Morgan family coming home from the lake. Ed and Marilyn have been married 12 years. That's Kelly, Sue, and Casey in the back seat. They've driven this road a dozen times before, and nothing ever happened. But today is different. Today, Ed will become a killer. And here's his weapon. Good old Ed Morgan. A mighty careful man in his own home. He can't imagine how anyone could have been so careless. Ed Morgan, everyman. Anyone who handles fire in any form is a potential killer. Anyone can start a fire and never even know it. Please be very careful with fire. Please. Only you can prevent forest fires.
And welcome back to more of Slice of Sci-Fi. I'm Michael Armenegay.
And I'm Brian Brown. And we are very pleased to have back with us Rubidium Wu. Now, the name may sound familiar because we're like, hey, it's kind of an odd name, but he is the writer, director, and producer of The Silent City, folks. Welcome back, Rubidium.
Hey, thanks, guys. Good to be here.
Well, your show's out. The Silent City is out, and we have 3 episodes so far, and we want the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now.
Yeah,
just email them over to us right now.
We'll be good.
That's good.
I'll put a link up.
Congratulations. You've generated some good buzz for your show so far.
Yeah, it's been really surprising. I mean, you as a filmmaker, you want to put up the best thing that you can, but once you put it up, you know it sort of takes on a life of its own. It sort of it gets picked up here, and then that goes into something else, and then goes into something else, and we've been really lucky to find the audience that it has, and it's getting bigger and better.
Yeah,
as the days go on. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, oh no, I mean it is. And so, folks, let's refresh your guys' memory because we talked to Rubidium back, I think, in February of this year. Mm-hmm. So, Rubidium, give everybody kind of just, a small snippet of what The Silent City is about.
Okay, so it's a web series that we raised $12,000 to fund on Kickstarter.
Yep.
And it's shot in the abandoned, forgotten, and disused spaces of New York City and the surrounding areas. So we used the empty parts of New York as our sets, and wrote a story around them, and then sort of have shot and post-produced this thing, and we're releasing it every 2 weeks, and we're up to episode 3.
And Brian and I were actually talking about this off before we started the interview, and I have to say that I was absolutely blown away at the background and the places that you've got to shoot. I spent so much time looking in the background, going, there's got to be a human being back there somewhere. Is this CGI? Did they just do a backdrop on here? I mean, some of these places are just incredible.
Wow, yeah, it's you would not think that in one of the busiest, most populated, densest cities in the world that there would be all these sort of forgotten, abandoned spaces, but they are. There's plenty of them. All for sometimes it's economic, like the space is just too expensive to redevelop.
Okay.
Sometimes it's military, like Fort Totem that we shot at.
Oh, yeah.
The battery that comes into Queens, like that. Interestingly, is really unique because it's probably the least graffitied abandoned space that you'll find anywhere, due to the fact that it's right across the street from the NYPD training facility.
Yeah, there you go.
No one's all that keen to and it's also in the middle of nowhere, but that was really wonderful.
And that's the question right there. You just laid it out there for me. Is how on earth did you find these places that weren't just covered in graffiti? I mean, I was expecting this to be just like every other place that you've ever seen. Any footage that you see of New York, it's usually just littered with graffiti
and trash. Yeah,
and trash. Well, we had a little bit of that. Glenwood Power Station where we shot is sort of got generations of graffiti on it. I think it was built in the in the late 19th century, and then it kind of was abandoned, I think in the 20s or 30s, and it's been sitting there right on the Hudson for that long, and it sort of had if you the higher you look, you can sort of see Grateful Dead graffiti, and then it kind of comes down, and then all the new stuff is like fluorescent pink and all these wonderful new colors that people have access to. But yeah, then places like Totem and the boat graveyard out in Staten Island, where it doesn't really. I mean, you'd have to be pretty keen to get your tag up to swim through a couple hundred feet of toxic mud. I mean, even shooting out there was a real challenge because when we went, it was bug season, and it's really hard to kind of Eric, the actor, had a real, trouble maintaining his, he's kind of focus and his sort of steely resolve while he's being eaten alive. But I was trying to hold the camera still, and they were biting my eyes crawling into my ears and stuff. I mean, it's sometimes the inhospitability of these places sort of saves them from unnatural degradation, and they sort of sink back into nature, which is what looks really beautiful.
Right, and that's one question I was going to ask is how dangerous is it sometimes shooting in some of these locations because they're so abandoned, possibly rotted? Do you guys scout it ahead of time to make sure you're like when you guys did it, you're like, oh, let's check out this building where we're going to shooting and make sure that Eric's not going to fall through the floor?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, Glenwood was definitely the most death trap-ish. And we had been there a couple of times scouting, and we laid down some more stuff and tried to arrange it to make it safer. But one of our prizes for the Kickstarter was to appear as a we call them undergrounders, these mysterious creatures in gas masks in the film. And we thought we filmed the kind of like the finale that happens in episode 5 at Glenwood, and I was like, oh, let's get these people along, and it'll be fantastic. And then once we actually found it and scouted it, we're like, someone will die. Someone will die. There was like a thin tin film. You wouldn't even call it a metal plate. It's like, sneeze on it and it would break, and then it's a 50-foot drop through 3 floors.
Nice.
So like like deep mud and broken metal below. So I ended up recruiting people from the local Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, a couple of stunt photographers or like extreme sports photographers, a fireman from Jersey that was off duty to kind of like be our. I wouldn't call them stuntmen, but sort of like extreme extras.
Yeah, congratulations! You won a thing on our Kickstarter to die. Tetanus! Yay!
Yeah, that was all the only jokes that people could tell the whole time. Because it's one thing to stand on a beam above a 50-foot drop. It's another thing to like be wearing a gas mask with tinted eye holes and have a flare with generating all this smoke going off. Yeah, the Jerry the fireman was like, "Yo, I do this every day." No problem.
So I want to talk a little bit about the story because it is very engaging. It is really cool where this thing is going, and I'm dying to see the rest of it. But I always ask this of people who are doing stuff for web series. How do you deal with the short form? Because you have got to cover so much and get people hooked so quickly because you don't have time to build to it. How challenging was that for you?
Well, it's an ongoing thing. If you look at our YouTube, there's probably of the 200 comments, 150 of them are this should be longer.
Oh yeah, way out.
And I'm like, well, yeah, I would love it to be longer, but. I sort of took the philosophy that people are captivated by mysteries as well as information. And if you choose the right locations and you shoot them in the right way and you do the little bit of post-production that we've done to kind of like enhance these places and even things like the color correction, the digital intermediate, if you change this whole field of flowers into gray or brown, suddenly there's a mystery there. Suddenly all the plant life is dead at that space and people are wondering. And I just sort of took this idea that there's the whole basis of Silent City is that no one that's alive knows how the world ended. Everyone that survived this unknown disaster was somehow isolated. They were either in solitary confinement, or they were in a coma, or Eric, the hero, was crewing a submarine, and the submarine, like a naval submarine, and it was diving deep. And then when it came up 6 months later, everyone was gone.
Right.
So it's sort of that sense of mystery, and that people. I kind of wanted people to be like looking for clues in every single shot, and that's why I kept the episodes kind of stayed under 5 minutes, because I really wanted to make every shot count. I didn't want to sort of just have filler and just have him, aimlessly walking around forever, sort of like talking to himself about stuff. I really wanted to keep things moving. And also I took do you guys remember the old 60s Batman, the Adam West?
Oh, yeah.
I remember, and that was kind of a tribute to the earlier radio serials where every episode would end with a cliffhanger, and then it would be answered at the start of the next one, which would then in turn end with another cliffhanger. So it's sort of like keeps you coming back, even though the episodes are really short. They're kind of like the length of a music video, which I think is a comfortable length to watch on the web. They are really dense in their sort of narrative form, and I think it's kind of taken. It seems to have worked so far.
It really has, and it's fantastic. So, Rubidium, before we leave you, tell everybody where they can find this so they can go out and watch it.
So you can check out silentcityseries.com for the website, or just Google Silent City, or look for Silent City on YouTube. And awesome. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 are out now. Episode 4, which actually you'll be happy to know is a lot more story heavy and has a lot more dialogue, and we start to find out who these people are, comes out this Sunday.
Okay.
Wow. Very
excellent.
Awesome.
Rubidium, thank you very much for spending time with us and speaking with us today. We really do appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. Great to catch up.
Folks, go out and check out the Silent City. It is awesome. And we will be back with more Slice of Sci-Fi right after this.
Good evening, Slicers. Sean Edwards with your
news from Flight Test Land.
Old School Edition. Boeing announced this week the celebration of the 50th anniversary of the first delivery of the CH-47 Chinook cargo helicopter. This is the one with the two big rotors, folks. That's right. The Chinook has been in production constantly for the last 50 years, with over 1,200 produced and 800 still flying for over 18 member nations. New variants are still being produced that are just as advanced as some of the newest model cargo helicopters coming out on the market. Also in old school aviation news, the Army has announced that they're starting the flight test program for their newest airship. This is a twin-hulled, rigid-hulled, inflatable airship that looks basically like two Zeppelins strapped together. This started out at New Jersey at the home of the original Army Airship Corps, and will be used as an intelligence gathering platform for the Army. Be able to stay aloft for several days at a time with multiple crews on board. Should be an interesting program to watch. And finally, the Space Shuttle Endeavour's trip to its final home has been finalized. This will be to the California Science Center, and it'll begin with the delivery of the spacecraft on the back of its specially modified 747 to Los Angeles International Airport on September 20th. After that, it'll be in a rented hangar for a couple weeks before it starts its journey on October 12th to the California Science Center, completing on October 13th. I realize that may seem like a long time, but let's face it, it is fighting LA traffic. And of course, everyone in the public will be able to see it on October 30th when the exhibit opens up. Sean Edwards out.
Very, very cool.
Very cool.
Oh, it's our first video report from him.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Put a battery in your smoke detector there,
yeah.
guy.
Chirp, 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 chirp. Real quick, let's talk about some of the things we got in the studio this week. We got a new, Syfy has a new show coming out called Hot Set. And what it is it's a new reality competition series from the imaginative world of film and television production design. Competition. So it's kind of from the producers of Face Off, but they're going to now other parts of film, which seems kind of interesting. So it premieres September 16th.
Well, Face Off got 18th. Popular, so they're just throwing anything on the wall and see what sticks.
Whatever.
So
it's all good.
I also have hinted.
Yes, poor Brian.
That I am going to take one for the team and watch Piranha 3 Double D.
Read the tagline on it because it really sums it up.
Double the action, double the terror, double the D's.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
My brain's melting. So I'm going to take one for the team and watch that because everybody else is taking. Sam did Twilight. Mike's done a couple different things now.
That I put out of my brain. I don't even want to. I don't even want to remember what I did.
So it's my turn. Finally again. So, Megan, you're next. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're just glad you dodged this bullet. Let me tell you.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I would even have agreed. I would have just committed harikari right then.
I'm gonna try to go in with an open mind and just kind of think of it as a goofy.
You never know. It could
maybe.
be goofy Ed Wood type, and who knows?
It's got David Hasselhoff in it.
That's right.
Oh,
and Gary Busey.
What's I reading here? So here's the special features. The Hoff-tastic world of David Hasselhoff. These are the special features. Busey's bloopers.
That should be about half of the disc.
A lesson with John McEnroe.
What?
Yeah,
John McEnroe is in this?
He maybe, I don't know.
Oh, is he gonna racket some piranhas?
That's what I'm wondering.
As the piranhas jump out of the water, he takes. Oh
my gosh, that would be the best sequence ever. I would totally watch that movie.
Just for that.
John McEnroe. Just
okay, if McEnroe's in there, basically wailing on piranhas,
I'll let you know.
Got to let us know.
I haven't seen anything. His name isn't mentioned on it, so maybe he's a cameo.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
One last piece of business we should talk about very briefly is that we're going to go into reruns for a little while.
After next week, because our 500th episode is coming up, folks. Woohoo! And 500 episodes. Can you believe it?
And we are going to tear down the studio completely and rebuild it.
Yes, because
take us a while.
So we hit 500, and then we're going to go away.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more on other shows to remind you guys about it too as well. So, but anyways, keep tuned. We'll be back in a few days. Bye.